The endocrine system is a combination of the glands that produce hormones that regulate the metabolism, growth, and development of the body. These hormones can control a range of things such as moods, sleep, reproduction, among other things as well. The endocrine system is made up of the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid glands, adrenal glands, pancreas, and ovaries for females and testes in males. The primary function of the endocrine system is to control hormones. Despite hormones circulating the body continuously, every hormone is aimed towards certain organs and tissues. The endocrine system is assisted by a few organs, for example the kidney and the liver. In terms of exercise, it will boost the functions of the endocrine system. Doing regular exercise will lead to an increase in the production and release of hormones. It will also increase the amount of testosterone, particularly in males. The endocrine system's response to exercise is to develop it further and to keep producing and releasing hormones around the body. Males produce a lot of testosterone compared to females with regular exercise, which massively affects their moods and will also affect their decisions occasionally in everyday life. The exercise will essentially produce more and more testosterone, which will increase the amounts of muscle mass that will be gained through exercise. Males generally have higher levels of testosterone than females, hence why they usually have a larger muscle mass than females as well. With younger participants, it is arguably more important for them to exercise regularly to try and increase their muscle mass because they'll still be growing and will need to also increase their muscle masses alongside this. It is ideal to do this since it will strengthen their body and make them more robust, meaning it is less likely to damage any of their body in any way, shape or form, and it is less likely to be serious should they damage their body. However, doing resistance training too early for a young child, such as before they have almost fully grown, can cause early damage to their body because it will be putting too much pressure, impact and stress on their body because it has a high chance to naturally grow and strengthen before they use resistance training anyway, and they should wait till they've almost stopped growing so it doesn't stunt their growth either. For older participants, it is more about maintaining their muscle mass where possible to prevent as much weakness as they can and not lead to chronological aging affecting their biological age as much as possible. So it is much the point of everyday life for them, but you should also be trying to increase their muscle mass or / maintain it for them, since they are more likely to have weaker bodies and deteriorate over time. The penultimate body system is a muscular system. The muscular system is a system consisting of skeletal, smooth, and cardiac muscles. It is the system which primarily focuses on the movement of the body as well as the maintenance of structure of the body and circulating blood. The heart is also known as a cardiac muscle, and whilst it is a muscle, it is thought of as the main component in the cardiovascular system because it helps with blood flow and it never tires until someone dies or has a serious health condition that has caused it to stop working. There are different types of muscle tissue. Firstly, skeletal muscle is a voluntary muscle. This means that they do not automatically contract and relax subconsciously, and it is needed to be done periodically. So the person would almost think about doing it before they actually do it. Most skeletal muscles are attached to bones by tendons that are quite robust and fairly difficult to damage. However, should you damage them, it can be very serious and can affect your everyday life just instantly because of how painful it can be and how long it can take to heal. There are also smooth muscles which are otherwise known as involuntary muscles. This is because they do contract and relax subconsciously without any thinking needing to be done by the person himself. And their contraction pattern is also slow as well as being the subconscious thing. So it is, for example, the intercostal muscles around your lungs and your rib cage. They're smooth muscles because they're involuntary, and they automatic, that you don't have to think about contracting them, they just automatically do it and do their job. There's more than 600 muscles in your body, therefore making it your priority to take care of your body is essential, particularly for the muscles. If damaged, the muscles can cumulatively damage further and further until it eventually does potential lifelong damage. This can hugely hinder participants in sport because it will mean that they will have to take some time out of participating and may lose interest by the time they can get back to it, since it has been a while since they last did their chosen sport. In a severe case, it could also ruin the whole psychology of the participant as well, and could cause them not want to go back to their sport anyway, which could lead to a sedentary lifestyle eventually, which could almost ruin their whole life, because this is all could be affected from being injured just once for a few weeks. For younger performers, the psychological side of being injured can affect them more than the physical side, because they're usually able to recover from the injury quickly in comparison to older performers. They also should not do any resistance training until they have nearly fully grown, because it can hugely damage their skeletal and muscular system as well as stunting their growth for the future. On the other hand, older participants are more likely to be affected by the physical side of injuries because their bodies are already naturally deteriorating as it is. If you add injury to that, it can hugely impact their biological age. Older participants also tend to do more cardiovascular based exercise, because too much resistance training, for example, could lead to damage to their muscular system, because their muscles are naturally becoming weaker. So it's better and less stress on the body if you strengthen them by doing body weight exercises, for example running, which also does cardiovascular. The final body system I'm going to be covering is the respiratory system. The respiratory system is a series of organs responsible for taking in oxygen and getting rid of carbon dioxide. The significant organ in this body system are the lungs, as they control the exchange of gases when we breathe. The lungs work with a circulatory system to pump oxygenated blood around the body, and it then takes waste products away from the working muscles and then gets rid of them through the lungs when we exhale. In relation to sport, the respiratory system must be functioning effectively, because obviously without breathing we die. Therefore, when our heart rate increases and the rest of the body prepares for exercise, our respiratory system must be able to respond to this cue and match the demand for oxygen, because the working muscles will need an increased amount of oxygen due to the function to be able to function without getting damaged, and therefore the respiratory system is a key part of the body, especially when exercising. There are quite a lot of health conditions that can affect the respiratory system in a negative manner, such as lung cancer. In a severe case, that is. This is a huge reason not to smoke, because smoking gives off an increased chance of getting lung cancer. Smoking damages your lungs and fills them with sooty kind of stuff, and will also clog your arteries, making it harder to transport and breathe on top of that. For younger participants, their respiratory system should be in good condition anyway, and should also be developed further by doing regular exercise to keep working and utilising it to prevent any potential future difficulties with their respiratory system when they are older. As for older participants, they should continue to exercise as much as they possibly can, since they are generally more susceptible to various health conditions linked to the respiratory system, such as heart attacks and just breathing difficulties in general, because their arteries start to not fail, but they start to deteriorate in condition also, meaning it is harder for them to breathe gradually as they get chronologically older, and then on a knock-on effect biologically older as well.